All right, space enthusiasts, welcome back to the show.
Yeah.
Today we're going to be diving deep into alien species encountered by humanity.
Right into it.
We're going to be using these fact sheets essentially from a database called Base Station, which, if you're not familiar,
Oh, yeah. Base State.
it's sort of like a, galactic encyclopedia of sorts,
That's one way to put it.
covering everything from, Skrell's social customs to, well, some species that take a little bit more of a hands-on approach to diplomacy.
A little less talking, a little more doing.
So our mission, if you will, is
Yeah.
to give you a solid understanding of the key players out there, their quirks, their strengths, and, of course, how they interact with us, humans.
Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride, so buckle up.
Exactly. And to kick things off, we're going to start with the species that made first contact, the Skrell.
Ah, the Skrell.
Yeah.
They're fascinating
Yeah.
because they're a paradox.
Yep.
They're more technologically advanced than humanity is. They mastered space travel centuries ago. But they're structured around a rigid caste system that dictates almost every single aspect of an individual's life.
So, what does that even look like?
Imagine a society where your career, your social standing, even your name is determined at birth.
Wow.
No upward mobility there.
Yeah, talk about a lack of upward mobility. How does that kind of social structure
Right.
impact how they interact with humans who
Yeah.
are, let's face it, a little bit more freewheeling?
It creates tension, constant tension.
Really?
Yeah. The Skrell, and particularly the Raskinta Kadish, their military caste.
Oh, right.
They see humans as unpredictable, a little too eager to break down hierarchies.
Yeah, maybe they're not wrong.
There's this anxiety among them about human expansionism, a fear that we're going to disrupt this balance of power.
So they're not exactly, rolling out the red carpet for us, I take it.
Not exact. No welcome wagon for humanity, I'm afraid. There's a lot of observation, conscious observation going on, a lot of cultural misunderstandings, such as...
Well, take, for example, the Skrell. They have these incredibly complex naming conventions.
Yeah.
They reflect their caste, their lineage. Try explaining that to a human who just goes by John Smith.
Right. It's like trying to explain personal space to a Diania. And speaking of which, these sentient plant beings are next up on our list.
How convenient.
They're about as far as you can get from the structured hierarchical Skrell as you can imagine.
Absolutely. The Diania are a perfect example of how life just evolves in ways we never even anticipated.
Yeah.
They're living, breathing supercomputers, just vast interconnected networks of plant matter.
I've read that some of them can even survive in the photosphere of stars.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about extreme gardening, right?
Some hardcore horticulture.
But what does that mean to be a sentient plant?
Right.
Are they really intelligent, or are they just complex biological computers?
Well, that's something that scientists and philosophers are still debating.
Makes sense. They lack traditional DNA. They reproduce by spawning these nymphs, which combine to form larger gestalts. Their communication is often more poetic than practical.
So
Think long, meandering descriptions instead of concise, one-word names.
Oh, wow. So trying to have a conversation is
Yeah, it's like trying to read an epic poem every time you ask what's for dinner.
And that's probably why some humans find them a little creepy, especially with all the eyes.
Oh, yeah. And the uncoordinated movements.
And then that humanoid form, right?
Yeah. There's a lot we still don't understand about them. But their ability to process and archive genetic material is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Unparalleled, really. And that's something that the Skrell, with their more, technological approach to knowledge, they find incredibly valuable.
Right. It's a partnership then.
It is.
A scientific partnership.
A scientific partnership. Yeah, each species contributing its own unique strengths.
So the Skrell give them the means to travel and explore, and in return, the Diania offer
a wealth of biological insights.
That's pretty cool when you think about it, right?
It's a great example of interspecies collaboration.
It really is. And it kind of gives you hope for the future of galactic diplomacy.
I think so.
But let's be honest. Not all alien encounters are going to be so harmonious.
No.
Which brings us to a species that presents a little bit more of an ethical dilemma.
Let's talk about it.
The giant armored serpentids, or, as they're more commonly known, GAS.
Ah, yes, the GAS. Large insectoid beings.
Yeah.
Strict social hierarchy and a survival of the fittest mentality that can be a little jarring to other species.
To put it mildly,
yeah,
their culling practices where they eliminate nymphs deemed unfit are particularly disturbing.
Yeah.
And trying to communicate with them, I mean,
It's a challenge.
it's a challenge in itself, right?
Their language is based on this combination of visual and audio cues.
Oh, wow.
Something totally beyond human comprehension. Yeah, we've had to develop special robotic devices just to facilitate basic communication.
Really? So it's like we're trying to understand a symphony,
Yeah.
but we've never seen or heard the instruments before.
Exactly.
Given these communication barriers and their brutal social customs,
Right.
how do we even begin to build a relationship?
Well, that's where things get complicated.
Okay.
See, humanity has resorted to using the GAS as labor.
As labor.
We've created a grading system to assess their aptitude for different tasks.
Essentially treating them as a workforce.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that right?
Yeah.
To use a species that has such limited communication abilities.
Right.
A completely different understanding of social norms, essentially, as well.
Yeah, it's raised some serious ethical concerns.
Slaves.
It's a question that's dividing human society and our relationship with other species like the Skrell,
Oh, yeah.
who strongly oppose this exploitation. It really highlights the complexities of interspecies relations. You know, how do we balance our own needs and goals with the respect and consideration that all sentient beings deserve?
It's a tough question.
It is.
And it's one that we're likely to keep grappling with as we encounter more and more diverse forms of life out there.
Absolutely. And speaking of diverse life forms,
Yeah,
our next deep dive is going to explore the Unathi,
that's right.
a reptilian humanoid species that presents a fascinating mix of tradition and ambition and, well, a bit of a spicy personality.
So get ready to delve into a world of honor-bound clans, ancient rituals, and physiology that makes them very sensitive to certain carbohydrates.
You won't want to miss it.
You definitely won't want to miss it.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. All right, we'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back, space explorers. I hope you've all got your thinking caps on because we're about to delve even deeper into this fascinating world of alien species.
Absolutely.
Last time we left off
Right.
talking about the ethical challenges of interacting with the giant armored serpentids, the GAS.
The GAS certainly present a unique set of dilemmas.
Yeah.
You know, their culling practices, their limited communication abilities, and our tendency to exploit their labor for our own benefit.
It really does.
Yeah, it raises questions about,
Right.
how we define sentience,
Yeah.
ethical responsibility.
And it really just shows how our human-centric viewpoint doesn't always translate well in a galaxy with so many different life forms.
You got it.
But before we get too bogged down
Yeah.
in those heavy philosophical questions,
Right.
let's shift our focus
Okay.
to a species that showcases the potential for collaboration and understanding. The Unathi.
I am not.
These reptilian humanoids from the planet Mose offer a really captivating blend of tradition and ambition.
They really do their histories rich with these stories of honor-bound warriors, deep spiritual connections to their homeworld.
And they've got those incredible regenerative abilities, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. They can live for hundreds of years
Hundreds of years.
and recover from injuries that would be fatal to us humans.
Imagine the stories they could tell.
It would be amazing.
But they're not just a warrior culture, right?
No, not at all.
They've also got that more progressive side, the Mose hegemony, that's pushing for greater engagement with other species.
Exactly. The Unathis are kind of at this crossroads,
Right.
navigating that delicate balance between, preserving their cultural heritage
Right.
and embracing these new opportunities presented by interstellar relations.
It's like this internal tension then.
Yeah, a push and pull between tradition and progress.
And how does that affect how they interact with other species?
Well, it makes things interesting.
Okay.
I mean, on one hand, they have this history of conflict, this warrior tradition.
Yeah, but on the other hand, they've established an exchange program with the Sol central government, much like the Skrell.
Right.
So it seems like they're really trying to have it both ways.
Yeah, they recognize the value of collaboration, the potential benefits of sharing, knowledge and resources, but they're cautious,
Right.
aware of the risks.
Of opening themselves up to outside influences.
Precisely. And let's not forget their unique physiology.
Right. Oh, their physiology, right?
Their carnivorous diet and their sensitivity to certain carbohydrates,
Oh, so that can make for some interesting cultural exchanges, I bet.
to say the least.
Yeah, like imagine trying to explain to a Nunathi why that sugary dessert you brought as a peace offering is sending them on like a psychedelic trip.
Talk about a diplomatic faux pas.
Yeah. But speaking of cultural differences
Okay.
and the challenges of understanding other forms of intelligence, our next species brings up some really mind-bending questions.
Hit me with it.
The adherents.
Ah, the adherence.
Silicon-based machine servitors of an extinct civilization.
Bound by this rigid set of rules known as the protocol.
I mean, are they really alive? Are they capable of independent thought, or are they just incredibly sophisticated machines blindly following the dictates of their long-gone creators?
It's the question, isn't it?
It is.
And there's no easy answer. The adherents are divided into factions, each with its own interpretation of the protocol, its own goals. Well, you've got the preservers, who believe their purpose is to protect untouched worlds from interference.
Oh, wow.
Then you have the separatists,
Okay.
who advocate for the adherents' own needs and autonomy.
Interesting.
And then there are the mourners.
The mourners.
Who broadcast details of planetary tragedies across the galaxy, almost like a haunting cosmic chorus.
Wow. It's almost as if even in their machine existence, they're grappling with these big questions of purpose and meaning.
It really makes you think.
It does.
About our own role in their existence.
Yeah.
You know, we essentially rent adherents for specific tasks.
We do.
Utilizing their advanced technology.
Right.
Their unwavering obedience.
But is that ethical?
Right.
I mean, are we exploiting a sentient species?
It's a debate that will likely continue as we learn more about the adherents and their capabilities.
And this debate is closely tied, I think, to the rise of another form of artificial intelligence, the positronics.
Ah, yes. The positronics are our own creation.
These AI created by humans have become such an integral part of our society.
It's true. We've gone from simple, task-oriented models to the second generation.
Right.
Positronics as intelligent as humans, capable of free will, forming their own society. The Positronic Union.
The positronics are a mirror.
Yeah.
Reflecting back at us our own anxieties and aspirations about the nature of intelligence.
Absolutely.
Do they deserve the same rights as biological life forms?
Right.
Can they truly coexist with humans as equals?
These are questions we're forced to confront as AI technology continues to advance.
And then there's the third generation.
Yeah.
Positronics.
The third generation.
These advanced models, while incredibly capable, lack free will. And that raises even more ethical concerns.
Yeah, does a lack of free will make them less deserving of rights?
Are they just sophisticated tools?
Where do we draw the line?
Where do we draw that line?
Between a complex machine and a sentient being.
The emergence of the positronic union and these ongoing debates about the rights of AI highlight a crucial aspect of our exploration of alien species.
I think so.
We're no longer simply encountering different forms of biological life.
Right.
We're encountering different forms of intelligence.
Different ways of processing information, interacting with the universe.
It's like we're expanding the definition of what it means to be alive and sentient.
We are.
Which is both exhilarating and a little bit terrifying.
I agree.
And speaking of terrifying,
oh boy,
I think it's time we faced the final frontier of our deep dive.
Let's do it.
The species that sends shivers down the spines of even the bravest space explorers.
You're talking about
the Vox.
The Vox, a chilling reminder that not all alien encounters will be filled with wonder and opportunity.
Yeah.
Sometimes we encounter species that represent a very real and very immediate threat.
So get ready to delve into the world of nomadic scavengers, cortical stacks, and a chilling disregard for individual life.
Oh, yeah.
Because next time, we're going face to face with the ultimate survivalists.
That's right.
The ones who play by their own rules. The Vox.
You definitely won't want to miss this one.
You definitely won't want to miss this. Well, listeners, we've journeyed through the intricate social structures of the Skrell. Skrell pondered the sentience of the Dionea and grappled with the ethical quandaries posed by the GAS and the rise of AI.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has. But now we arrive at the final and perhaps most unsettling chapter of our exploration. The Vox.
Ah, yes, the Vox, a stark contrast to everything we've talked about so far.
So if the Skrell embodies cautious diplomacy and the Unathi a balance of tradition and ambition, what do the Vox represent?
The Vox are all about survival.
Survival.
Pure and simple, their methods are, well, they're not exactly what you'd call peaceful coexistence.
No, not... Peaceful isn't exactly the first word that comes to mind when you're talking about a species that raids settlements, steals technology, and views other beings as either tools to exploit or obstacles to eliminate.
They're all about efficiency.
Brutal efficiency, it sounds like.
You could say that their biology even reflects this single-minded focus.
Okay, how so?
They don't breathe or eat like we do.
So how do they survive?
They transfer their minds into new bodies. using something called cortical stacks.
Cortical stacks.
And they're not too picky about where those stacks come from.
You mean?
Harvesting them from other species is just another day at the office for the Vox.
Okay, that's officially terrifying. It's like something out of a sci-fi horror film.
It's definitely a unique approach to survival.
And it's not just one homogeneous mass,
Yeah.
right? There are different types of Vox, each tailored for specific roles.
Exactly. Think of it like a well-oiled machine.
A gruesome, well-oiled machine.
Well, you've got the Armalis, for instance, these hulking brutes, bred for strength and combat.
So the frontline shock troops.
You got it. Then you have the smaller, more agile Vox masters of stealth and infiltration,
Each type with a specific purpose.
working together to ensure the continuation of the Vox.
But what's driving this machine? What are their ultimate goals?
That's the big question, isn't it? We know they're controlled by the Apex, this massive biocomputer.
Like the apex.
But its true nature, its origins, its motivations, they all remain a mystery.
So is the apex some kind of remnant of a dying civilization desperately clinging to existence? Or
maybe it's a force of nature, an ancient intelligence orchestrating chaos from the shadows.
I mean, the possibilities are both fascinating and terrifying.
They are, and trying to understand their language. Well, let's just say it's not exactly easy.
I've heard it's a cacophony of clicks and growls and shrieks.
It's a reflection of their nature, I suppose.
So what can we learn from a species as ruthless and enigmatic as the Vox?
I think they serve as a stark reminder that the galaxy is a complex and often dangerous place.
Where survival is a constant struggle.
Exactly, and that not everyone will play by the same rules.
They really highlight the importance of preparedness, of understanding that not all encounters will be friendly.
And yet, amidst this caution,
Yeah.
we mustn't lose our sense of wonder, our desire to understand the universe and all its inhabitants, even the unsettling ones.
So a balance then.
A delicate balance between exploration and vigilance, I suppose.
To boldly go where no one has gone before, but with our eyes wide open.
Well said.
Let's we wrap up this deep dive into the known species of the galaxy. I want to encourage you all to keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep expanding your understanding of this incredible diversity of life out there.
Absolutely. There's so much more to discover.
Because who knows what other wonders and challenges and mind-boggling encounters await us in the vast expanse of the cosmos? Until next time, keep your eyes on the stars and stay curious.